Hey, welcome again to another great episode of Kitchen Table Conversations. I'm your host, Rodney Pelt. How's everybody doing? Look like I was here last night. Like I was on the queue with y'all last night. Oh, mighty bright. I got a lot of light on me tonight. But yeah, so we had a great show last night, guys. We had who we had on last night? I forgot. Oh, Mr. Oliver. What's it, Oliver Seeley? He's running for District 7, Tulsa City Council. And then we had Eric Gaines come on, and we talked with a resident from the Forester Garden Apartments. It was very, very, very informative show between Mrs. Seeley and the young lady from Forester Gardens. So hopefully we shed some light on the situation, bigger light, more light on the situation that's going on at Forester Gardens. It's just sad and deplorable that our people in 2025 have to live like that, not because they want to, but because they have to. That nobody chooses to live like that. They have to. So, yeah. So tonight we got a packed show. It's gonna be very, very, very informative. So I need you to like and share this post, this kids table conversation. Like and share. I know we got a lot of shows going on tonight. I see everybody show is on tonight, so that's good. So we can go support all each other, support this show, that show, this show, that show, but mainly support this one. But yeah, support all of them, and go see what's going on politically, socially, and entertainment wise. Go support them. But we need you to like and share this right now, right now. Like and share, hit that like button, hit that share button, go over to our YouTube page, Right to Pill Senior, and subscribe, like and share over there too. So we need to get those numbers up so we can reach a broader audience and so we can get our word out. What we doing and how we doing here in the city of Tuscaloosa, because we got a lot going on. So yeah, shout out to Brown High School. Brown High School made the Final Four boys championship. I think they played Wednesday in Birmingham. I don't know who they play, but they play Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, somewhere at 12. So go support those Brown High School boys. They play in the Final Four. And I think Hillcrest High School girls made it also to the Final Four. I think they played Thursday morning at 9, I believe. So if you're in the city, you want to travel, you're off, got a few minutes, couple hours, run up the road to Birmingham, check out our own Bryan High School Stampede and our Hillcrest Lady Patriots. Bryan played Wednesday, Hillcrest played Thursday. So go support them and those young folks and all that ever, because they could be doing anything else. But they're representing their school and their city next week in Birmingham. Well, this week in Birmingham. Shout out to them. Shout out to Westlawn Middle School. Man, we had a time today over at Westlawn. We was able to bring a barber in and cut some boys' hair. We do a lot of stuff with our young folks, a lot of stuff, but hygiene is one of the most important things that we do with our students. And I say they got bad hygiene, nothing like that, but we teach them about grooming and hygiene and different things. And we was able to afford some boys to get a haircut today. One boy had a big old fro. Now I got a little hair on my head now, but he had a huge one. And he was like, Mr. Pitt, I just want to cut it off. And cut it off. His hair looked so good. Other boys, they got their hair cut, edged up, they lined up, and they want the pencil. I got the pencil. So yeah, shout out Westlawn for allowing us, giving us space and opportunity to do that for our young men. Shout out to Roscoe Ezel for pulling up on us after we got canceled on by other barbers at the last minute. But that's neither here nor there. Roscoe, I called him and he said, man, I'm on the way, bro. I'm on the way. He was driving trucks. That's crazy. He was driving, dropping a load off in Meridian. And he was coming back from Meridian. And he said, let me drop this truck and I'm on the way. And within an hour, he was there cutting hair. He got off of work, still had to go get another load, but he paused his day to come cut them young men's hair, and they are grateful. They loved on him. He loved on those kids. He was spitting knowledge to them while he was cutting his hair. One little boy said he wanted to learn how to cut hair, and Roscoe volunteered to come back and show him. So, yeah, we had a great day over there. Wednesday, at West Lawn, we will have our 8th annual tie-in ceremony with our young men at West Lawn. We have a group of 6 mentees that we work with over there. Some great individuals. I got to call them after this, actually. Great young men doing some great things. Grades are up. Behavior is down. They're doing some great things over there. And we're going to tie them into the program where we present them a tie, and we're going to tie the tie, but we're going to loosen it. Then we have our stakeholders and their parents to come up, tie the knot, tighten the knot, and that signifies the bond between mind changers, the community, and their parents and that child, because we know it takes a holistic effort to raise our children and our young men to be great men. And we're going to do that Wednesday at 12. So if you're in the community and you're watching this and you want to come out and be a part of it, watch it, celebrate those young men, we invite you to come to West Lawn Wednesday at 12 noon. We're going to start on time, so you need to come a little bit before 12. Bring your ID so you can scan in at the school. They can get you scanned in and come on to the library, and let's celebrate these young men, because we always talk about the bad stuff that they do. We always talk about the shooting here and the shooting there. These young boys this, these young boys that. But now that they're being honored for some great things they're doing, we need to also celebrate them. Celebrate them. Let them know that we love them and we're here for them and we care about them, and we're going to be in that corner all the way. I'm part of 100 Black Men, and one of our mottos is mentoring across a lifetime, and that's what we want to do with these young men. Mentor them not only in middle school, but in high school, college, and it's going to be fathers, business owners, husbands, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, come out 12 o'clock at West Lawn on Wednesday to celebrate and love on our young men that's done some great things. And we just want to encourage them to keep going. I'm gonna tell you how it works real quick, and then we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna get our first guest on. I had a young man call me today, actually, or text me today. He just got out of jail, and he did some time. He got out about a month or so ago, and he was like, "Mr. Pelt, are you still doing mind change?" I told him, "Yeah, whatever." We talked. I said, "Hey, man, I did my little mentor thing, my dad thing. I always say." But he said, "I want to give back because I've hurt so many people. I've done so much stupid stuff. I want to give back. I want to do what you did for me when I was a boy in school. So now we're going to work with them and get them trained to be mentors. And they're going to come back and speak to our young men about some things that they did and roads that they traveled that was wrong, ending up in them in the situation." He said, actually, it's not only him, but it's a group of them that want to do that got out of prison or jail or one of the two, and want to really give back. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that, man. We need to encourage these young men. And even just because you make a mistake, just because you fall down, I mean, you can't get up. So, listen, right after this commercial break, we're going to have our first guest. She's going to be calling in, Miss Q Chandler. So, we'll see you in a few minutes. Well, about a minute, about 30 seconds to a minute. See you back with Miss Q Chandler on the phone.
District 1. Change doesn't happen alone. It takes all of us. We need your partnership. And that's why we're launching our neighborhood action teams. Together, we can strengthen our neighborhoods, create more opportunities, and ensure every voice is heard. I'm running to build a better community, not a resume. I believe your voice matters every day, and not just during campaign season. On March.
Hey, welcome back. We're back with Kitchen Table Conversation. Hey, that was a great commercial. I like that commercial. Q, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks, Rodney.
Great. Y'all, we got on the phone Miss Q Chandler. She had I think she had a flat tire or something. She couldn't come. So we told her don't get on the road. We'll just call you, and then we'll make sure we straight. So, Q, say hello to my audience.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Again, thank you, Rodney, just for accommodating, just things that happen in life. So I do appreciate you for your platform and allowing candidates to talk about while they're running. So again, thank you so much.
Great. No problem, Q. No problem. We go way back like 4 flat tires, so we straight.
Yes, literally.
So Q, for the people that don't know Q Chandler, just take a minute to explain who you are and what you stand for. Who is Q Chandler? That's your first question.
Sure. Well, for those who don't know me, my name is Q Chandler. I am a mother of three exceptional children who all attend Tuscaloosa City Schools right here in District 1. I have been a community champion for nearly 2 decades, where I've worked directly with families, schools, nonprofits, and just really a neighbor here in District 1. Um, I've served on a couple of boards, Junior League of Tuscaloosa. I'm a member of that. Our mission is to, work with women and children to just make sure they have, their needs met with education, just resources and professional development. I'm also the founder of Girl Power Book Club, and what that is, I started a Girl Power Book Club for girls of color, and our focus is making sure girls of color know who they are by reading stories that have main characters that look like them. So just really getting them excited about reading and promoting and improving our literacy here, especially in West Tuscaloosa.
Great.
So yeah, I know that probably was about 55 seconds.
No, you good. You good. You good. Yeah. That's great. And your kids, I've been knowing them babies for a long time. I've been knowing you for a long. Anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that. That's great. All the stuff you do, you've been really a champion in the city for a long time. So we're gonna jump right into the questions. For y'all that's watching, if you got any comments, questions, drop them in the chat, and we'll ask accordingly what question you got. Just don't be disrespectful. If you do, I'm gonna call you out. Okay. So our first question is community engagement. What specific strategies do you plan to implement to actively engage and involve underserved residents in the decision-making process that impacts their lives?
Okay. Well, that's a great question, and it kind of highlights what my campaign did long before creating a platform. So if I can speak to that real quick. So about 5 or 6 months ago, we started a listening tour where we met directly with residents just to talk to them about their concerns, their ideas, and, their aspirations for our community. And so some of the things that the residents mentioned while just visiting their homes, sitting at their tables, and just having small gatherings to talk about this is what they told me. They were interested in safe and clean communities, just more things for our youth and seniors, and also families, and more equitable and economic development and growth. And so for me, that was important. A lot of times leaders and in government, we come up with all of these ideas without making sure that the residents' voices are at the center of those ideas, making sure they're part of those solutions, right? And part of the plan. And so for me, how you can do that, we can implement regular town hall meetings where we can talk about these needs for the communities, making sure, not only we talk about it and provide the space, but we have to make sure we're not just on social media, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody is not on Facebook. Everybody is not on the internet. So when you think about a campaign, how do people normally reach people? Whether that's through radio, whether that's through mail, whether that's through texting. So we have to make sure we have everybody in those rooms, right? So moving forward, having those meetings, you can establish neighborhood teams, right? Where we have residents, not only residents, but local leaders and stakeholders, just so we can have an ongoing feedback on whatever initiatives or concerns that residents may have. So that's one way you can engage the community, but also making sure we can have digital platforms for those who are involved and active in social media, just to have a further reach and have a broader audience for me. And when we think about community engagement can look like several different things. So everybody is on different pages, right? So what about thinking about training and having resources for residents, not only to wait on government, Rodney, but making sure we empower them to be, active and participate in some of their own concerns, right? Mm-hmm. And educating them on how government truly works.
Great. I love that aspect of it when you say the neighborhood teams and communities that people can have a active voice in the
Yeah.
decision making process. I love that aspect of it. Now, next question: uh, resource allocation. We know with Elevate Tuscaloosa and other initiatives that's going on, it's a lot of money flowing around here. It's a
Mhm.
lot of money flowing around here. So, how would you prioritize the allocation of city resources to address the needs of the underserved communities? And what metrics will you use to measure the effectiveness of those initiatives?
Yeah, that's another great question. Um, Again, everybody has to be at the table, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, we think about resources, we think about funding, we think about investment, but are we really listening to what people want? You know, from me, it needs to be everybody likes to get caught up in data, and this is important right here, a data driven approach. So conducting a needs assessment to identify the challenges and what those resource gaps look like in the areas, by having surveys and coming together to come up with focus groups and just really gathering ideas and the insights directly from residents, Rodney. And when you measure the effectiveness, then you'll be able to track those improvements in the specific key areas. You know what I mean? Like areas like education, right?
Mm-hmm.
Healthcare or employment. And we need to make sure after doing all of that, we have residents satisfaction, just information or surveys where they can give us feedback, and just make sure it's transparent reporting, just so residents can see how these taxpayers' dollars and resources are being allocated. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So transparency is a must, especially with
Yes.
me. Anything you do, I need to know what did you do with it and how you did it and why you did what you did with it. Especially when it comes to my tax dollar. So yeah,
Right.
that's
Because
great.
a lot of times in government, and especially, I can only speak for District 1.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of times when we see investments and we see projects, we don't know about those projects until they're on the agenda, or, we just see them. So there needs to be transparency within government just to make sure, hey, are residents really saying they want these types of investments? Or how can we make sure we're building trust and we're working together as partners? A lot of residents told me they don't feel like we have a strong partnership between residents and government. And that's not something I'm just making up. This has been the norm and it's not okay, right?
Yes, I agree. I agree. There's no strong relationship or strong transparency when it comes to the people in the government, not just city, it's county, state, and no
Right,
national. So
right.
you mentioned education with the tax referendum failing. How would you? I don't know how I'm gonna ask this, but how would you try to show up, or can you show up, or does the city allocate funds? I know they allocate, I think, $8 million a year to the city, but how would you try to show up those lack of resources that we would lack if you can when it comes to the city schools?
Right. So partnerships, right? We
Mm-hmm.
know that there's only so much money that the city and different organizations have, as a whole. But when you think about partnerships between nonprofits, business owners, different organizations, whatever gaps the school system where they're lacking, we have to go directly to our school system to see how we all can work together. For example, if you have business owners or nonprofits and they have skills or just different finances to help pour into these schools, we all have to work together.
Mm-hmm.
And the city can provide the space and some of those resources to those nonprofits and business owners as well to come together to make sure we're filling those gaps. But again, we need to do an assessment, especially with our budget, just to make sure there's not any room for us to. Of course, there's always room for improvement, but that was really unfortunate that it didn't pass. And we have a lot of work that we have to do on educating people on how that works, because there was a lot of confusion centered around what we were actually trying to pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like if people had a better idea, I think we'll be more successful moving forward.
Yeah,
I don't have anything negative to say about our school system. I have 3 amazing children who have benefited from Tuscaloosa City Schools. And I know how extremely difficult it has been to make sure they get a decent education, and we have work to do.
Mm-hmm. I would love to see partnerships when it comes to those lacking resources, like Erica was talking about and Dr. Jackson was talking about. We might lose like social workers, counselors, nurses. Well, I can see partnerships with DCH for as the nurses when we have a lot of those college students do internships in the schools. University of Alabama and Stillman, they put internships in the schools to try to fill some of those spaces. And when it comes to athletics, we have partnerships with local businesses, not sponsorships, but partnerships where they can allocate some funds. And, the city schools can do like a dollar for dollar match, or every dollar that they give, we'll put a dollar into, and everything like that. Go to go to build up those funds that we're going to lose, because from the looks of it, I seen an article the other day, I think I read it right, where they already seeing the cuts across the board coming up to this new school year. It's taking effect now.
They have. And just to go back to when you think about education, you think about education after school too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And kids graduating, after school programs. We don't have a partnership lack in partnerships. We have the people, we have the bodies. It's just really implementing those programs.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if we want to think about uplifting the youth, part of my platform, launching job training programs where we can partner with those local businesses to offer job opportunities, not only for youth, but also parents who are, working several jobs just to make sure their ends meet. But we have a lack in skills for children and parents as well. So we want to make sure they are achieving not just short-term success, but long-term success as well.
Right. You need to run for president, Q. All right. Last question. Long-term solutions. What are your long-term plans? What long-term plans do you have to ensure sustainable economic development and access to services for underserved residents in District 1? And how would you hold your administration, or how would you hold the people that you work with and the mayor and the other councilmen and other people like that accountable to those commitments?
Gosh, Rodney, you have some great questions.
I know, I'm right the pill.
And I feel like it's partnerships. We just have to look at it take this approach, creating partnerships with education institutions, right? Mm-hmm. Local businesses and nonprofits to foster those job trainings and employment opportunities. When you think about education and partnerships, we're improving our economy, right? Mm-hmm. For me, another thing we can do as a community and as a city, develop more affordable housing, improve public transportation. That's a part of our economic system where we can enhance accessibility, and just really having regular progress reports for me, not just between the city, but for the community. Doing different evaluations on those programs and have specific goals. I feel like a lot of times we're kind of like all over the place with investment and ideas within the city. But if we have specific concerns and goals and a timeline, I really think we'll be successful. And again, like I mentioned before, having feedback, allowing residents, for me, when I feel like I'm being heard, and that's trust. And I will tell you the last thing, residents feel like they are not being heard, right? And when they feel like their voices are heard, you'll have a better economy, a better community, and you'll have more buy-in between residents and the city. and the government, and just working together with leaders. And you just have to keep continuing to address those issues and talking about how we can improve not only our city, but just our world. Just think about it. People really don't think local government and local politics is important, but the things that we're doing now, it affects us directly, right? Mm-hmm. And it is so important that we have people in place that get that and not afraid to speak up and speak for people and make sure we're listening. And that is really why I started a listening tour first. We need to hear from people, and we need to make sure we're creating the space and time for them to be heard and be part of government and those solutions, Rodney.
Yeah, I hear a lot of partnerships, transparency, and working together. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, I will give you the petty question of the day, but I'm going to let it go. My producer looking at me said, don't ask it. So I'm going to let it go. Somebody just texted to me, but I'm going to let that go. So,
boy.
Yeah, so I'm going to let that go.
Oh, boy.
So Q, like I do everybody, I'm going to get out your way. Give me your last ditch pitch for why to vote for Q Chandler.
I think the choice is real simple and real clear. Most of the residents, and especially people in Tuscaloosa, know I've spent my entire life organizing and empowering residents, not only just residents, but workers, and fighting for our neighborhood. So for me, I don't believe in excuses. I believe in practical solutions. People know me. I've worked so hard as an unelected official, and I'll continue to do the same when I'm elected. I believe in empowering people. I believe in meeting people where they are, and I have no issue with standing up for what's right. So I don't think you'll get a better candidate than to have a candidate who has ran for office not once but twice and has still poured their entire soul into this community, making sure I do my due diligence to work together with residents and education. And, I've been raising my family here, so I know what the community needs because I've lived it with this community. If anyone wants to get in contact with me and you want to talk about some of your concerns and ideas, we have about 8 more days until this election. My number is 205-722-4283. If you want to find information about where we're going to be this week and this weekend, you can go to www.vote4QUE.com. And also, you can visit my website. That was my website, but my email address is QUE@VOTE4Q.com.
All right. Everybody heard you. Thank you, Q. We appreciate it and hope you get that tie fixed.
Thank you, Rodney. And y'all have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Experienced leadership isn't about how much time a person spent holding a title. Experience comes from being present in the community and having a strong track record of personal action. I'll never take credit for things I didn't do. I've personally written over $350,000 in grants awarded to nonprofits for programs benefiting local children. I founded a mentoring initiative teaching kids how to become entrepreneurs through creative arts. I founded an organization promoting health and wellness in our community. I've promoted local business as a chamber ambassador. I've taught personal and professional development workshops to kids and adults to give people the tools they need to succeed. As your city councilor for Tuscaloosa's District 2, I'll personally show up and put in the work to connect the dots between the issues we face and the resources to remedy them. Visit ashleyrwheat.com/vote to learn more about the campaign.
Paid for by the campaign. Welcome back to Kitchen Table Conversation, guys. You just heard from Q Chandler. Great platform, great individual, great mother and community leader. I'm not going to endorse nobody, but hey, figure it out for yourself. She's a great person. So now we're sitting here with District 2 candidate, Miss Ashley. Hey, Ashley.
Hi there. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, great.
And for the record, I do endorse Q. Just putting it out there.
All righty then. You heard it here first. Yeah, so why you just threw me all the way off, Jen? Okay. So Ashley, thanks for coming by the kitchen table. We appreciate you coming by.
Pleasure.
I know you've been running like a scalded dog and you're tired as all get out. We would have had dinner, but the cook took a break.
Quite all right. Thank you though.
So like I asked everybody, who for those that don't know you or don't know who you are, where you from, or whatever like that, give us a minute. Who is Ashley Wheat?
So I am born and raised in West Tuscaloosa, been here all my life, and I am a wife of 15 years to my wonderful husband, Santez. I am a nonprofit leader. Currently, I'm running 2 nonprofits, the Alabama Blues Project. I've been the executive director there for the last 6 years, and our mission is to preserve local history pertaining to the blues, and we also teach kids how to play blues instruments and sing and things like that. And I also started my own nonprofit last year, which is Rose's Leadership Academy. It's a mentoring program for middle school girls. So I do a lot of other things in the community. I'm an ambassador with the Chamber of Commerce. I'm on the advisory council for the Benjamin Barnes YMCA. I am on boards for a few other organizations, but I am very community oriented, and that's basically why I'm running, because I want to continue service to my community.
You do a lot. You have just as many hats as I wear. Man, God, good. And this crazy thing about it, we serve with a lot of this stuff together. Yeah, so, man. So the Blues Project, tell us a little bit about the Blues Project, because I know our little boy was in the Blues Project at the YMCA. So talk a little bit about the Blues Project.
So the Alabama Blues Project was founded back in 1995, and I've already told you a little bit about what the mission is, but we mainly focus on trying to preserve the legacy of Alabama's blues musicians so it doesn't get lost along the generations. But we teach kids how to play guitar, harmonica, keyboard, drums, and also vocals. And like you said, we for the last 2 years, we have brought back our blues camp at the Benjamin Barnes Branch YMCA. So we're very excited about that partnership. But we mainly do like after school programs. We do programs at schools all over the city and the county. We have a student band called Alabama Blues Productions. So they actually rehearse on a weekly basis and go out and do gigs in the community just like any other professional band. So they played at like the Druid City Arts Festival, the Kentuck Festival, and big stuff like that. So it's a really good, fun organization to be a part of.
The Blues Project is amazing. And shout out to the previous director. What's her name? I can't think of her name.
Debbie Vaughn.
Yeah,
she is amazing.
Amazing
so she is the founder.
Individual. The founder, yeah, she's an amazing individual. And she come to King Kitchen all the time. I said, I got you, baby. You got to pay for nothing. I got you. So,
and if you don't mind, I do want to make another announcement.
Oh no, you can't get that free.
Please,
King's Kitchen.
It's for the Alabama Blues.
Oh, okay, all right.
So our annual fundraiser is coming up on March 28th. It's the 15th annual evening of Art and Blues. It's going to be where our office is downtown at the Dinah Washington Cultural Arts Center. So we want to make sure everybody can come out to that. We're going to have a live band playing. It's actually going to be we're doing a family reunion thing this year. So we're reuniting some of our former student band members, and they are coming back and forming a band and playing for that night.
Awesome.
So
and make sure we come support.
Yes, please do. So you can get tickets at alabamablues.org.
Okay, y'all go get your tickets, bro. alabamablues.org. So District 2. For the people who don't know where District 2 is, like we talked to her the other night, she said, I never voted. I'm like, how you never vote? She said, I never voted for president, city got nobody. So tell us where the District 2 vote at and where are the borderlines? Because I know it's crazy.
Yeah, it is really crazy. So, and unfortunately, we run into that a lot. I was out canvassing this morning and ran into somebody who said that they aren't. She said she wanted to vote for me, and then she said, "Well, do you have to register to vote?" And I was like, "Well, it's too late now." But I told her how she can get registered for the next election.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, if you're not already registered, please go out and do that right now. But as far as District 2, it covers part of the west side. So if you're coming from 18th Street, from 15th Street, where Central Elementary is, it goes back to 18th Street where the old Y was.
Mm-hmm.
District 1 goes back that way to where the old Y was, and then District 2 starts from there back. And it covers like all the way over to where the Hughes Center is and C.A. Fred, all that area. Also down where the Glens are. That's most of the west side area. 15th Street, we got the Forest Lake area. Also where not Midtown Village, but what's the other mall? Meadowbrook Shopping Center, all of that area. Then we have down 69 where Moorshire and the Links and all that is. Also, we have the area on Skyland where Lowe's and all of that is. So it's a real big, diverse district.
Okay. And that covers one side of town all the way to the other side. Oh, wow. That's crazy. So District 2 is a diverse district. Like it got underserved areas and it got some affluent areas and it got some industrial areas. Because down by like C.A. Fred, that's all District 2, right? Okay, so my first question is, and for y'all to know, everybody get the same question, no trick questions. You know, people ask me, do you do trick questions? No, we don't do none of that. So if you got a question, put it in the chat. We'll ask the question. But if you do something crazy, we're gonna call you out. So don't do nothing crazy. Be respectful. Community engagement. What specific strategies do you plan to implement to actively engage and involve understanding underserved residents, in the decision-making process? And that impacts their everyday lives?
So the number one thing is just being accessible. Right now, one of my main issues with current leadership in our district is we can't find our council person. I mean, she's not present in the community. So I am always trying to be everywhere. Anytime there's something important dealing with the community, I'm always there. My social media is public. It has been for years, and I'm constantly sharing things that might be helpful to the community. So that's a big way that I try to stay connected to my community, and people really do respond that way as well. So I have conversations with people all the time, just thanking me for letting them know what's going on in the community that they wouldn't have known about otherwise. As far as the campaign, I have been, like I said, I've been canvassing out this morning and all throughout the campaign and still have more to do. Just trying to get out and meet people face to face, also through mail and through television, all of that stuff. So making sure that people know how to get in touch with the person who is going to represent you. So if you have any questions or concerns, you know where to turn.
So being easily accessible.
Exactly.
Easily accessible. Great. So resource allocation. We know it's a lot going on in District 2 now with the building of the Vision Barnes Y down in that district. Yeah, that's District 2. Yeah. Yes. And then we got a lot of industrial stuff going on, road repairs, and all those different things. How would you prioritize the allocation of city resources to address the needs of the underserved communities? And what metric would you use to measure the effectiveness of those funds?
Okay. So first off, I don't have an issue with the Elevate projects that they've done. However, if I had a say over the way that money was used, I would have allocated more resources to the people who need it most. Right now, one of my biggest issues, one of my biggest parts of my platform is affordable housing. Like I said, I've grown up in Tuscaloosa all my life, and I never saw homeless people when I was growing up.
Yeah,
but right now is everywhere. And what I have found is that a lot of these people have Section 8 vouchers. So we have over 2,000 people in Tuscaloosa right now who qualify for Section 8 vouchers. but there is no affordable housing to put them in.
Wow.
So my plan is to use some of the funding that the city has, invest in some of these dilapidated houses. Right now, the city mainly, they just tear down houses that are becoming blighted. I would rather see some of those houses that can be repaired, just put a little bit of money into them, build them up to where they're up to code and can be listed on Section 8. So you can rent those properties out through Section 8. So that not only takes care of the blight in the community, but it also brings up the property value for everybody around that property. And it also creates that housing for people who need it. Yeah. And what was the second part of your question?
How would you prioritize? Well, you addressed that. How would you prioritize those funds? What metrics would you use to show the effectiveness of what's going on when it comes to funding in your district?
Yeah. So that really is citywide because that issue is everywhere. But the metric I would use is to see that, because right now it's like a 3-year wait list for Section 8. So if we see that metric go down, then I know that the plan is working.
Wow. Yeah. It's and homelessness. You talked about homelessness. It's out of control. I was the president of the West Alabama Coalition for the Homeless for years, and this was like before COVID, a little bit after COVID. You didn't see as many homeless people then as you see now. It's crazy. We was getting off the interstate the other day, and what's the lady name? Becky just walking and beating on people's window. Like, just walk up to your car, beat on your window, and ask for some money. And I'm like, lady, you gonna get beat up out here in these streets. It's dangerous, but it's so many of them. And now that the camp down on McFarland, on the east end of McFarland, they got the camp. So then we had to do pit count. You know about all that pit count and all that stuff. It's just like it's getting out of hand, and it's all because of affordable housing, basically.
And we do have some good homeless shelters in town, but the problem is they stay full. And
they stay full.
There's just too much capacity.
You got a question?
Okay. I know you said that District 1 and 2 kind of collide together, but where is the YMCA? Is the YMCA in your district?
The old YMCA was in District 1. The new YMCA is in District 2.
Okay, and you are okay. So I was thinking about the old YMCA.
Okay.
So the old Y is right on the line where the district ends.
Okay, because I was thinking that maybe, with that being, I'm not sure if it's, right now it's a vacant building, but that could possibly be like a shelter. They have showers, they have, a kitchen.
From what I hear, the city already has plans for that building.
Oh yeah, they already got it.
Okay. But that would be the perfect place for like a warming shelter or something.
It costs too much to put up the code, almost $1 million to bring it back up the code.
Yeah.
So they're not going to invest that kind of money in it. Okay, never mind, because I get on my soapbox and I go crazy. But it's, from my understanding, it's a great nonprofit health organization that's going to get and transform it into more accessible healthcare for women. So hopefully it goes through, and I ain't going to mention no more. Let me be quiet, because I'm supposed to be talking about that. Okay, long-term solutions. All right, give me some of your long-term plans about ensuring sustainable economic development and access to services for underserved residents. When I say access to services, I'm talking about trash, garbage, water, and those essential services, transportation, things like that. Do you have long-term plans, or do you see some things need to be fixed, or what we can do better when it comes to District 2 and citywide, basically?
Yeah. So as far as economic development, one thing that I see lacking with the current city council, not everybody on the city council, but people need to be more plugged into the business community. I am a chamber ambassador. This is my second year doing so, but I've been a part of the chamber for like 6 years. And I hardly ever see our city council members at any chamber events. If you want to really deal with the economy of Tuscaloosa, you have to get to know the business owners in Tuscaloosa. So I would love to see our council members get more involved with it. And I have been building those relationships. So as soon as I'm in office, I do plan on trying to bring more business into District 2. Especially, I know what everybody is begging for is like healthier grocery stores.
A grocery store, man, good God.
Healthier restaurants, things like that. I would love to see that, especially on the west side, because that's where it's really lacking the most. And you asked about city services.
Mhm.
So yeah, we definitely need to take better care of our roads. One of the things that I brought up in one of the previous forums was the train station, because it actually is in District 2 and it's kind of near my house, and it seems like that doesn't really get talked about much when you're talking about utilities and maintenance. But the trains, they leave the roads kind of devastated.
Mhm.
So there's always really big potholes and stuff around the trains, and there's several train tracks that run through my neighborhood. So that's one of the things that I plan on fixing specifically for District 2.
Yeah, because you tell your car going across the trailer on Greenville Avenue, my God, you better slow down or you be. So I'm not gonna ask you the messy question of the day, man. So let's talk a little bit about partnerships. We talked a lot about partnerships earlier, and I asked Q about the tax referendum, and it didn't pass. What partnerships do you think need to be taking place between the city and the schools so we can marry some of those programs, put those programs back in place that we already see that we're losing now? What do you think can be done, or what would you try to do to help shore up some of those things we're going to lose?
Well, first off, I'm looking forward to the tax referendum being put back out there so we can vote on it again, because we need those funds. That's really the only sustainable way that I see that our school system is going to thrive. Because right now the city does give money to the school system, and the money that they give to the school system is right on par with what everybody else in the state is getting for their school boards. What is not on par is how much taxes we are giving. So it needs to be brought up. It hasn't been brought up since, what was it, the 70s or the 80s? So yeah, I think that, and I was listening to Q and she was spot on with what she said. I don't think people really understood what it was that they were voting for, and they just need more information about why it's so important to vote for it. Because I looked at the numbers. I was on the task force with the school board when they were putting this out, and there really is no way around getting the funding that we need without the tax referendum. Both of my nonprofits, we work in the school system. We do after school programs and stuff like that. But just partnering with nonprofits is not enough, because folks don't realize that nonprofits, we can't work for free. We can't operate for free.
Work for free. Yeah, we can't work for free.
even if I choose to work for free as an executive director, I still have to pay my staff.
Yes, exactly,
so it's going to be some money that has to come out from somewhere. So if the city wants to complain about education, the city is going to have to put their money where their mouth is. When I say the city, I mean the citizens. Not,
I got you. So, yeah, that's great, man. That's great. Everything you're saying is spot on. Ashley, I've been knowing you for a long time. You and Tez, I think you're an amazing individual. You do some great things with those babies. Just to see those babies playing those drums and it's great. You do a great job. So regardless how whether you own or you ain't or whatever, however God moves you, don't let the babies go nowhere.
Absolutely.
Stay on top of them babies. I love them babies. So like I'm gonna do everybody, I'm gonna move out the way. You scoot over just a little bit. You look at the people and tell the people exactly why they should vote for Ashley Week. So y'all want to let me do messy question of the day. So I'm gonna let you go ahead.
All right, everybody. So again, I am Ashley Weed. I'm running for Tuscaloosa City Council District 2, and I have been in West Tuscaloosa all my life. I love my community. The house that I grew up, the house that I currently live in is the house that my grandparents built. So my legacy is in West Tuscaloosa, and my passion is to make sure that we have a safe community. One of the things that I didn't talk about is my platform for mentorship, and that using mentorship as a way to curb gun violence in the long term. So we'll talk about that probably in another interview.
Go ahead, you got time, do your thing.
Okay, so my mentoring program, Rose's Leadership Academy, we teach things like conflict resolution and also a lot of other topics like etiquette and financial responsibility, all kind of good things. But we also teach entrepreneurship. So we're trying to give our children a different route to go down besides just not having anything to do and getting into trouble. So my plan is to build other mentorship programs that are similar to that, but are focused on other demographics. So especially our young boys. And I know that Mr. Pelt, he is already very deep into the mentorship game, but we need more people to get involved because he can only handle so many people. I can only handle so many people. And there are so many other people who need to be helped. So also our young adult males, that's the main demographic that I'm trying to focus on. So we need volunteers to get involved with mentoring these young adult males who are out here getting in trouble. So that's my full platform. And we need the city to invest some money in that program or those programs. So if you want any more information about that specifically, you can go to my website. It's ashleyrweek.com/vote. You can also reach me directly at my email is ashleyrweek@gmail.com. And my phone number is 659-678-6497. And I probably should have said some more stuff because I got off on a tangent. But
go ahead. Back to your platform. Go back to your platform. Why did you vote for Ashley Week?
Okay.
Because I do the same thing. I get off and be way.
So yes. So as we've been talking about the whole conversation, I am active in my community. I've been active for a long time, and you'll always see me out supporting anything that's good in my community. So if you want someone who's accessible, who's going to listen to your needs and actually do something about them, then that's why I say vote for me.
All right. Thank you, Ashley. Hey, we back. Man, that's a great show, power pack show today. I know we had another guest, but we ran into some issues like all candidates do. They run into some issues and get double booked or overbooked and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we'll get Councilman Lanier on before Tuesday. So we can talk about his platform. But nevertheless, we had two great people on today, two great guests. Ms. Q Chandler, that's running for District 1 City Council member, and we have Ashley Wheat that's running for District 2 Tuscaloosa City Council. So I don't endorse anybody, but like I say, don't vote for your friends, vote for your future. Get out next Tuesday and vote. So shout out to the Charm Academy, the new school we got in Tuscaloosa. The Charm Academy right there on Greensboro Avenue. Erica Grant is the, I don't want to say owner or principal or superintendent or I don't know what her title is. But yeah, shout out to Charm Academy. Go by there if you want to be a licensed beautician, barber. I think she's doing nail tech, all that. I don't know, just holler at Erica. I think she got some in the chat. And go over there and get your education on. I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of money in that stuff. So I'm getting a wrap it up signal. So thank you again for watching Kitchen Table Conversation. Like I say, Wednesday, come out to West Lawn at 12. Support our young men that's getting their ties this week. With Mind Changes, come out a little bit before 12. Come out and support those guys. We talk about them and we do free this and free that and do all that stuff when they do bad stuff. But when they're doing good, we need to get out and support them. So we'd love to see y'all Wednesday, 12 o'clock right at West Lawn. Shout out to Bryan High School boys, Hillcrest High School girls as they play for state championships this week. Thank you, King Kitchen Roll Events, for letting me have my studio here. Come by 501 Hargrove Road and go King's Kitchen, get you some good down-home soul food. Nothing's out of can. Everything's cooked fresh. Greens are cut. Peas are cooked. Everything fresh. Nothing frozen. So yeah, come out, check us out. We'll see y'all. Get out. Why she wrapping me up? So I don't know why she doing me like that.
Steak.
Oh, it's time to eat. So we'll see y'all next week. Next week we're gonna have two special guests. We're gonna do a pre-election election night coverage of Jabari Pruitt and Michelle Coley. We're going to break down District 1 all the way through 7, the candidates, where they are, and everything, so you can be informed. You can't say you didn't know. So watch Kitchen Table Conversation next Monday night, 8 o'clock. We'll see you then. Peace out.